What's up, guy and girl players of WoW? Taro here, and I'm bringing you a quick video leveling 525 to 600 in jewel crafting. The reason why I'm coming out with this video, even though I'm going to have 1 to 600 video as well, is because I want to make sure that anybody who's already 525 doesn't make some mistakes that are possible. So first up, you want to make sure that you go to your trainer and learn up. From there, there's tons of gems that you can make, and as well as in a ring and a neck. Now the ring and neck will start at 500, and this guide is perfectly fine for if you're starting out at 500. I just expect most to have 525, but 500 is, perfectly fine as well. From there, what you're gonna do is you're gonna need some jeweler's settings from the vendor right here. This girl over here. Grab some of those. I'm gonna get about 60, but you're not gonna need that many. Alright, and to get those mats, of course, you're gonna need to see the auction house. Now you have two options on the auction house. You can either buy the gems that are listed, or you can try to prospect and find them that way. Now, I'm a person that likes to look at it in a, simple form. Basically, what do you want to do? Do you want to make it as easy as possible? If you want to make it as easy as possible, then you'll just be buying the single gems. Now, if you want to have a possibility of making extra gold and save yourself some, money at the same time, although it's going to take you a little bit longer, you can also prospect to be able to get the gems that you need to make the rings and necks that we're going to need to start our leveling up. You can also look at it, which way is least expensive. You can look at, each single gem, add them all up, and see if that's, cheaper. Okay, so right now Ghost Iron ore is about 277 a stack. That's pretty average for what it's been at the beginning of this expansion. We're gonna go ahead and buy 7 stacks of it. I hate it when people put singles, and it's just really annoying because I really don't want to buy any of those and take the time to actually do it. And it's only going to cost another 18 gold-ish, to just skip over that, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm just buying a general amount, until I run out of gold. I spent 6,000 about, you saw in the starting, and we're just going to go ahead and, prospect it all. To begin your prospecting, you're going to want a macro for it. So we're going to make a new one, and we can make it very simple and just, call it prospect. Pick an icon, doesn't matter. And we can make it very, very simple. Cast, prospecting, and /use, and shift click that item, and then we'll just put it, let's see, got way too many bars. Oh, there's my 1 bar. Whatever, I'll just put it on, oh, we found one, prospecting. That's a very long one. We can add it to the end of that, but you get the idea. Just in case we have to do some lower level stuff. You can also put on the top of it, you can use a pound show, and then the shift click, of course, that. We'll put that there, save it, exit out. Now it tells us, so far we've got 240 ore. Let's round it up, got about 360. Okay, so for each one, it tells us that we have a 25 chance of a green and a 4% chance of getting a rare. We also are getting a sparkling shard. Now these things are used to make, different items for jewel crafting, the higher level items. It's also something, that you can sell as well because it is BOE. So it's up to you if you want to just sell it or if you want to use it for rings and necks to make. And I do mean higher ones that we're not making here in the beginning. Alright, so I'm going to prospect that. Okay, so it took almost 5 minutes and we got all that prospected. And now I want to show you that those sparkling shards that I was talking about, if you right click them, they'll turn into a serpent's eye. Now these are used for, like I said, crafting some other items, and they're also used for your gems that, you know, your special jewel crafting gems for socketing your own gear. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make those real quick, and then we can move on to actually leveling. So right off the bat, we're able to make 16 ornate bands or 14, you know, of the shadow fire necklaces. We're gonna go with the ornate bands to start because they are less expensive. So we'll go ahead and make those. And these also have a chance to proc a rare quality. The rare qualities on my server have been selling for like, you know, 300, 400 gold. I'm not sure what they are today, but that's what they were yesterday. And they did sell, so, you know, it was worth it. And what's nice about, you know, making these rings is you have something to sell. If you do take the route of gems, you're throwing away your gold, really. Unless you have like 40 of one gem and you don't have any other use for it for some reason. I mean, there's really no benefit to going with it, because these give you one skill point, and you can't sell them for even close to what they cost you to buy. So you might buy this Alexandrite at like 40 gold, 25 gold, you know, 25 to 40 gold depending on your server. And you're only going to be able to sell the cut for probably like 2 to 15 gold, since the market is just flooded like crazy with people. Now the ornate bands, on the other hand, you can disenchant and get some of your gold back. So you're actually going to make money off of it, you know, and you're going to be able to sell these rare ones for a whole lot more than it costs to actually do it. So next up, we're gonna make the Shadow Fire Necklace. Don't be, you know, discouraged or whatever that it's got a red one in there. Reds are not selling for that much either, but I mean, they are better, of course, than the other ones, but they're not, you know, nearly as good as you would think. All right, so if you notice, once we hit 575, we went yellow, and once we've gone that as far as you can pretty much make it on what you prospected, as long as you get to like around 575, you're good. I mean, even lower than that won't be a big issue. You can always make some of the gems, you know, if you have to. All right, so we're gonna just train up everything. Now, you don't have to train all this stuff. You can pretty much stay away from the gems if you want to save gold in that sense. At 3, gold a pop, there's tons, and I mean, it's just ridiculous how many there are. And unfortunately, that ends up costing quite a bit if you watch my gold go down and down and down. So I'm glad we had about 800, left over after we trained, or not trained, we bought the ore for prospecting. Okay, so once you do that, you'll notice that you have all this research that you're able to do. Now you can only do this once per day when it's costing you gems. You can do it 1,000,000 times if you have enough Spirit of Harmony. You can do it unconditionally, it ignores the cooldown completely. Otherwise, your cooldown's at 12 at midnight. Alright, so I don't have enough rubies. That would be my first one that I would do. But I do have enough of the other ones aside from River's Heart. So from there, it's deciding, do you want to go with your purple, yellow, orange, or green for me. And I'm actually going to go with orange because on my other character, I don't have any orange, so we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so we got Potent, which is actually a decent one. And we also have 2 left over, so we can make those cuts if we need to. But in the early days, it's likely that the uncut version is going to, make you more gold. Alright, now you can also right-click this, and you're going to get a couple cuts. So that's kind of cool. Basically, you're going to get your money back. Almost. you know, you lose 1 gem basically. Maybe a little more depending on your server. From there, what we're gonna do, since we just did that, we'll check and see if we can train anymore, and we can't. So the only way of training up from this point, if we wanted to, would be to make these gems. But we only have 2 gems that we can possibly make. And that's only gonna give us a skill level, you know, to 590. And at 590, you know, there's nothing we can learn. Everything else is discovery from this point. So it seems. That's what it looks like when you look at that window. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go, I'm gonna show you a place where you can get some ring and neck recipes. So we have to at least complete the first portion of the quest to get over to Mists of Pandaria. It's really easy. I mean, you just, you know, go to Garage or wherever it is with Alliance, and you're gonna get a cinematic. You can just exit out of it if you've already seen it, or watch it. It's pretty cool. Once you get the quest, just go to the airship. It's right outside in Duratar. Alright, so it's like right out here. Make sure that you have your Hearthstone set to, like, you know, somewhere in org. I just did mine to Vale of Strength. But you could put it in the back one, closer to the jewel crafting trainer instead, since there's an auction house and a bank right there anyway. Okay, so we'll turn this in real quick. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna send us to Pandaria, basically. And once we get over there, it's gonna load up another cinematic, and you can just, you know, exit out of that as well. And then make sure you turn this quest in. Alright. And from there, you can just, you know, do the couple quests and basically get down to the floor, or you can go down there on your own. I mean, the quest is really easy, so if you haven't done it already, it's kind of cool too. You get to, like, you know, blow stuff to bits, basically. And it takes, like, you know, just a few minutes. And you hit, bam, done. And this one, I mean, he's just gonna tell you to go down, so at least it saves you, like, you know, crashing to your death, basically. Just grab the rope right here. Okay, and once you reach the ground, of course you can continue on questing. If you've already done this area, then you don't have to do this at all. But since we haven't done it yet, oops, going the wrong way. Since we haven't done it yet, we're gonna just, you know, skip over all of this, and we're gonna cruise down south. Alright, so you cruise all the way down the road, and then just, you know, slide through Dawn Blossom, basically, and just grab the quest right there. I'm sorry, not the quest, the flight point. And then from there you can, oops, wrong way. Just kind of go around the road and go through town. We're trying to make it to over here. Okay, and once you're in this town, you're looking for the jewel crafting trainer. Right here, okay? And this trainer can train you in all your serpent's eye stuff, but beyond that, you can learn these. So we're gonna go ahead and train up all the rings and necks available. And we don't really care about this stuff because, you know, we're not, well, I guess we'll get this one. We don't really care about the other ones. Alright, now once we have that, you look, now we can make those rings, and each one gives a skill point. And right now they cost, you know, 6 serpent's eyes, which will take a lot to actually make. But it's something else that you can make up to 600. And right now they are selling for a decent price. And, you know, I'm making serpent's eyes, if I were to sell those straight, they're like 150. So, you know, you figure 900 gold for this part. These are about 300 gold, so that's 1200, and this item's actually selling for about 3 to 3500 gold. So really nice profit margin. The other ones are similar. Even this one is, you know, skating by with a little bit of a profit. It's like 900, and then on this side, these are about 1400 right now on my server. Of course, your server could be different. So 2300, and then I think this Lord is selling, what was it selling for? It was about 3500. So, you know, you're making decent. And then you have other ones that use lesser stones, like these uncommon, take 6 of them. And that's a really good deal. I mean, 6 is only like, right now is like 240 gold. Not bad. So it's about half the cost of something else comparably. There's also necklaces as well, and you can make those. They only give 1 skill point, and you need Serpent's Eyes, so it can be kind of slow. But you can either buy the Serpent's Eyes or just prospect, you know, a ton of stuff. Alright. Well, that's pretty much it for you to get to 600. You can also just, you know, learn your gems on cooldown every day until you reach 600. That's another perfectly, you know, viable route. You can also, you know, go the neck and ring route, or you can, you know, go with the actually making your gems. We'd have to make, what do we got, 14 points, so we have to make 7 of these. And, you know, we would get up there. It's not that bad, you know, to hit 600. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hearth back, since we got what we needed. And we're gonna go ahead and list everything to see how much gold we can actually get back. Let me make sure we could see what we have on the auction house. So no items whatsoever. That's good. That'll give us an idea, a general idea of what stuff's selling for once we get it all posted up. Now the rings and necks, I do suggest that you disenchant them on your enchanter if you have one. I'm gonna pretend I don't. They're selling for 90 gold a piece. That's actually a little bit higher than enchanting value anyway. So we can just go ahead and get rid of them this way. So we'll get all that listed up. Okay, and then we'll move on to the rare rings that we got. We actually didn't get any rare necks, but we did get quite a few rare rings. So we can, you know, we'll list those, say at 400. Oh, we got a few more of these, I guess. Some green ones. They were going for about 50 to 100. Alright. We got all those up. Next we'll move on to just uncommon gems and get those listed. And then finally, we'll get to our rare gems and Serpent's Eyes. Right now the Serpent's Eyes are going for 227. You know, that's pretty much right around where they've been, but they do go down to 120, 150 at certain parts in the day, so I keep my eye out. And if I need them, I do buy them on my other character. Now, you see me selling everything and putting it all up on the auction house. Now, naturally, you don't have to do that. I mean, you could keep the gems for yourself and cut them. But uncut gems right now, at least in the beginning part, are going to be what's really, you know, selling. Most of the cut ones aren't going to sell for about another week. Now, remember, this is only 2 days after the expansion is released. So, nobody's inside heroics, nobody's inside raids, really. They don't have gear to put anything into. The reason why the uncommons are selling is because people are making other items. And it's, you know, far and few between the two. So, you know, there's still not that many 90s out there. And there's not, you know, just enough demand for it. So I suggest in the early days, you know, make sure that if you are going to cut something, check what the price is. Like, let's look at the potent, for instance. Let's see how much more we could make. You know, let's see. So we could make a good, you know, 700 gold. So it's totally worth it in that, you know, aspect. If somebody would actually buy it for that. Are they going to buy it for that? Probably not. But what we'll do is, you know, we'll take both of it. We'll make one of the potents, and we'll sell, you know, the uncut gem, because if you don't get rid of this stuff soon, what's going to happen is, you know, you're going to get stuck with it, and the price is going to go down and down and down. You want to get the most you can, you know, and trying to get 1,000 out of something cut might be kind of greedy, and you could have sold it, got gold back, prospected more, and made a lot more doing the uncuts in the early days than trying to chase, you know, the big profit. Alright, so we got everything up except for one of the stragglers. Yeah, I don't see any other items. Now this is just a plain, I'm trying to show you just plain if you just sold it with the with just prospecting. So we spent about 6,000 gold, and we're gonna maybe get about 11,400 back. So maybe you can get close to doubling your money. It's telling you flat out, okay, it's free to level jewel crafting right now. So I suggest that everybody does it if you do have 525 and you're debating whether you want to do it, because you want